Right off the top here at 8, former First Lady Barbara Pierce Bush has just died.
The former First Lady was 92 years old. Of course, it had been announced earlier in the week that her health had failed and she had decided against any further medical treatment. Mrs. Bush, of course, one of only 2 First Ladies who was also the mother of a president, the other Abigail Adams, wife of John Adams and mother of John Quincy Adams. Barbara Pierce met George H.W. Bush at the age of 16 at a school dance and married him in 1945. They had 6 children together and were married longer than any presidential couple in American history, 73 years. Of course, she spent many summers at their home in Kennebunkport on Walker Point at the Bush compound.
We want to bring in John Keller now for more on Barbara Bush's legacy. One of those legacies, John, was that she was plain spoken. People like that about Barbara Bush.
Yeah, I think the thing that is top of mind for me tonight is the humility of this woman. You know, I've heard some comparisons to, oh, well, you know, if we had a royal family and the Bushes were that family, well, she's the Queen Mother. But she was so incredibly down-to-earth. I remember watching a gathering of First Ladies once on C-SPAN where she started vamping about how, oh, look at my hair and what a fashion plate I am. You know, self-deprecating wit and humor. And this was also a tough woman who endured the death of her firstborn daughter at the age of 3 from leukemia, lifelong struggles with health issues, including Graves' disease, and she moved 29 times bringing up that family.
Wow.
John, let's listen to Jeff Glor, who has Mrs. Bush's life story from CBS News.
I'm the mother of wonderful children and the wife of the world's greatest man.
A modest Barbara Bush was so popular, she surpassed her husband, President George H.W. Bush, in public opinion polls. They married when she was 19, and he was a 20-year-old Navy pilot on home leave during World War II. She often joked that her success in life came from marrying well.
I fell in love with him practically at first sight.
As a young couple, the Bushes moved to Texas and built an oil business. They had 6 children, but their oldest daughter, Robin, died of leukemia at the age of 3. In 1966, George Bush was elected to Congress, and the family headed to Washington, D.C., one of 29 moves that Barbara Bush organized during their marriage. As First Lady, she focused on early childhood education for preschoolers and adult literacy for their parents.
I honestly believe that if more people could read, write, and comprehend, we would be that much closer to solving so many of the problems that plague our nation.
She won over the American people with her warm, self-mocking charm.
And speaking of glamour, I want you all to look at me very carefully. Please notice the hair, the makeup, designer clothes.
After the Bushes left the White House, they saw 2 of their sons carry on the family legacy in politics. George as governor of Texas before being elected president in 2000, and Jeb as governor of Florida.
Vote for Jeb.
In 2016, Mrs. Bush campaigned for Jeb during the GOP presidential primaries. She spoke about it with CBS This Morning anchor Norah O'Donnell.
Mrs. Bush, you've been involved in a lot of campaigns.
Too many.
It was just a few years ago you said no more Bushes in the White House.
Funny, I knew you were going to bring that up. And I said it because it's such a sacrifice for his family. But now I know he's so needed that he has to run.
What do you want the Bush legacy to be? I mean, you're watching a campaign.
The children and the grandchildren.
At the end of your life, you will never regret not having passed one more test, winning one more verdict, or not closing one more deal. You will regret time not spent with a husband, a child, a friend, or a parent.
It's a beautiful message from Barbara Bush. She always made literacy her project as First Lady, and one of my favorite stories, and John, you'll remember this, was when she brought Raisa Gorbachev as her guest when she was the speaker at Wellesley College, and they went into the Public Garden in Boston, and they were presented with the book Make Way for Ducklings, and the little brass duckling statues were there, and Raisa Gorbachev was so charmed, there is a replica in Moscow in a park there for children, and it was seen as part of the soft diplomacy of the SALT treaty talks that Barbara Bush was able to soften Raisa Gorbachev up a little bit. She was a very smart lady.
Super classy, as we saw in that piece by Jeff Glor. And, you know, the other thing is, when you think of everything that the Bushes have represented, I mean, the family is, along with the Kennedys, the most prominent political family in modern times in this country, the comment that she made, that Norah O'Donnell asked her about in that clip there. This is a few years before Jeb Bush finally did run, when there was speculation about him running. She said, you know, it's enough already with the blue bloods, with the Bushes. There are plenty of qualified people out there. Why not give one of them a chance? That stuck in my mind.
Self-awareness.
An indication of somebody who, in spite of all the accolades and everything they have, still has that sense of proportion and humility.
I think that's why she was so well-liked. Barbara Bush, the wife of the 41st president, the mother of the 43rd president, has died at the age of 92 of COPD and congestive heart failure. We'll have continuing coverage here on MyTV 38 throughout this broadcast, and then at 11 on WBZ. John Keller, thank you very much.